welcome to today's session. My name is Ken Moraguri, and I'm a trainer with the Kenya Airlift program. So I'm sure, as most of you know, there's a new GMAT edition out, which is a GMAT Focus edition. And this video is meant to shed light on what it is, what has changed, what's the difference between this and the edition that is currently here. So the GMAT Focus edition came into play because the stakeholders, those are the people who use GMAT maybe for admissions, they came together and in consultation agreed that a new edition of GMAT was required. So this new edition would be more representative of critical thinking abilities of the test takers as opposed to the current version. So you'll notice that some of the things that have changed, they are geared towards this. So the test materials have already been released. They were released June 2023, that is last month. And then the test itself will be available for booking or will be available to test takers from the fourth quarter of this year. So that is from October onwards. The GMAT Classic, so this is the current version of GMAT. It will be available for test takers till early 2024. So this means, of course, there will be some kind of overlap between the two editions. So this means that if you're studying for GMAT Classic, you have ample time to do your studies and do the exam. So it's not really clear how early in 2024 it will not be available, but at least till the end of the year, we are sure that it will be available. So what is this GMAT Focus Edition, and what are the differences between these and GMAT Classic? So first of all, it was meant to, one, benefit the stakeholders, especially the schools, and then the test taker. So it took in account how best to help the test taker perform the best that they can. And then it would help the schools evaluate more on the candidates' capabilities of critical thinking and problem solving. So these are the features of the GMAT Classic Edition, which is the current GMAT. We know that there are 4 sections, that is verbal, quant, integrated reasoning, and AWA, which is analytical writing. And then the sections on verbal are sentence correction, reading comprehension, and critical reasoning. For quant, we have problem solving and data sufficiency. For integrated reasoning, we have a couple, that is multi-reasoning, multi-source reasoning, table analysis, two-part analysis, and graphics interpretation. AWA is just an essay. You should write an analytical essay of a certain subject that you'll be given. So these are the scorings. The least you could score is 6, the highest is 51, with an increment of 1. And then for integrated reasoning, you could score between 1 and 8, and then analytical writing 0 to 6. And then the sections that are labeled in cream are the ones that contributed to your total score, which was between 200 and 800. Then we have the number of questions here and the time. So of course, we know that the total for this exam was 3 hours, 7 minutes, excluding breaks. So of course, we know that these 3 hours, 7 minutes is a lot of time. And also, of course, doing 80 questions in 3 hours, 7 minutes is quite a lot.
You're watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Upstake America. Upstake America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.upstakeamerica.com. Upstake America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential.
So for the sections in verbal reasoning, you see now we are missing the sentence correction section. So that has completely been scrapped off. So meaning that verbal reasoning will only have reading comprehension and critical reasoning. And then for the quant section, we have problem solving. So that means now data sufficiency has been removed from quantitative reasoning, and it has been brought to this new section that is data insights. So data insights is simply the integrated reasoning that we had previously, plus the data sufficiency questions. So this new section is what is called data insights. So that's one of the main differences. And then for the GMAT focus edition, the data insights part will also count for the score. That is now all the three sections will be counted towards your total score. And as we can see, analytical writing is missing. So it was deemed that analytical writing isn't really necessary to evaluate the critical reasoning ability of that test taker. So we won't have analytical writing anymore. Then the other big change is scoring. So for every section, you can get between 60 and 90. So 60 being the minimum score and 90 being the maximum score. So 60 minimum, 90 maximum, with an increment of 1. And then now you can see now the total is not 200 to 800, it's 205 to 805. And this is mainly so that we can be able to easily distinguish between a GMAT Focus edition score and a GMAT Classic edition score. Because so if you see a test taker has maybe 500, you know automatically that this is the GMAT Classic edition. And if you see a 505, you know that this now is the GMAT Focus edition. And this is, even if this is the case, it doesn't really mean that a 500 in Classic is equal to maybe a 505 in Focus edition. So the percentiles are slightly different. Yeah, so the percentiles and the way now the scores appear. These also have an increment of 10 10, just like the Classic editions were 10 each. So you can see, of course, the number of questions have reduced, and so have the minutes that we should use while doing that exam. So it's 45 minutes for per section. So this is 45 minutes, not 35. So 45 minutes for each section. For verbal, we have 23 questions in the 45 minutes. For quant, we have 21. And for data insights, we have 20. So 45-minute section is 2 hours, 15 minutes total. That's a difference of almost 1 hour, which of course is way friendlier to the test taker. So that's the general summary of the differences between these two editions. Apart from that, they will be almost the same. You can easily switch between the two. And the advice is if you have started studying for GMAT Classic Edition, you do not have to change to the Focus Edition because you have enough time to study for it and take that exam. So the other differences are the GMAT Classic had 2 8-minute breaks, So which maybe if you did verbal reasoning, then quantitative reasoning, then IR, then AWA, you could take maybe 8-minute break there and another 8-minute break there. And then we had, of course, there's certain orders. So either IR and AWA, then these two, or one of these two, and then IR or AWA. So the break is now 1 10-minute break. So because there are 3 sections, you can take now 1 10-minute break in between where now you choose. You can either take it in between these 2 sections or in between these and data insights. And then for every section, review is possible. So once you do your questions, you can be able to review them. So you can go back to previously answered questions, but you can only change up to 3 answers per section. So you can review all the questions, but you only have leeway to change only 3 answers. Remember, the time that you will use to review and to change will be counted from the 45 minutes of that section. So there's no extra time for review. So this is in case maybe you do the section and finish pretty quickly. So you can just go back and maybe review those questions. So you can mark questions for review. Yeah, and of course this wasn't available for the classic edition. So that's the summary of the changes that are happening between the GMAT Focus and GMAT Classic Edition. And consequently, we will be having trainings for the GMAT Focus Edition starting from September. So we are hoping that you will join us. So that was all for this session, and we'll see you in the next videos where we'll break down the further differences and shed light on this new version of GMAT. So thank you very much. Bye.